People say the wind carried our voice across the ocean before it ever reached home. Chinedu had grown up in a small village where everyone knew everyone, but not everyone was kind. Many people mocked him. They said he was slow. They said he was weak. Some men refused to work with him. Some boys laughed at him in the market. Even children repeated hurtful words they heard from adults. Only his mother saw his worth. She always touched his shoulder and said, "My son, you are stronger than you think." But one evening, after a long day of insults, Chinedu sat behind their hut and cried. He tried to hide the sound, but his mother found him. She sat down quietly beside him. After a long silence, she said, "If this place is too heavy for you, go chase your future. I will pray for you." Before dawn the next morning, Chinedu packed his small bag and left the village. No one stopped him. No one asked where he was going. He traveled until he reached Lagos, then until he reached the airport, then until he stepped onto a plane heading to the United States of America. He did not look back. America was hard, harder than he expected. He washed plates in a hot kitchen. Steam burned his arms. He worked in a warehouse, carrying boxes until his back ached. He lived in a tiny room with one small window. Some nights he couldn't sleep because he missed home so much. But he kept pushing. After years of hard work, he saved enough money to start a small cleaning business. It grew slowly, then it grew faster. After a few years, he had an office, workers, a car, and more money than he had ever imagined. But something was missing. He would come home after a long day, open the door, and feel the emptiness of his quiet house. No voice calling his name. No smell of his mother's cooking. No sound of laughter. Just silence. One cold night, something strange happened. As he sat alone, staring at nothing, he heard a soft voice, faint but familiar. "Chinedu, my son, come home." He jumped. His heart started beating fast. The room felt warm, as if someone invisible had entered. He stood up, looking around, but he saw nothing. The next night, the same voice came again. "Chinedu, come home. It is time." This time he knew he wasn't imagining it. He knew that voice. He had heard it since he was a baby. It was his mother. Tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "Mama, is that you?" The room felt warm again, like loving arms around him. That was the moment he made his decision. He closed down what he could, sold what he didn't need, and booked a flight back to Nigeria. On the plane, he could not sleep. His thoughts raced. He didn't know what to expect. He didn't know if his mother was even alive. He didn't know if the village would welcome him or laugh at him again. When he reached Nigeria and smelled the warm air again, he felt something inside him relax. He hired a car and traveled to his village. As he approached the familiar dusty road, his hand started shaking. It was almost sunset when he reached his family compound. The sky was orange. Children stopped playing and stared at the stranger with the big bag. A few women whispered. Then his mother stepped out of the house. At first, she did not recognize him, but when she looked again, really looked, her eyes widened. Her hand flew to her mouth. Then she screamed his name. "Chinedu!" She ran to him with surprising strength for an older woman. He dropped his bags and held her tight. She cried against his chest like she was releasing all the years she had held her tears. "My son, you came back. My son." Chinedu cried too. "Mama, I heard your voice calling me." She pulled back slowly and looked at him with shaking hands on his face. "My son, I never stopped calling your name, even when you were far away." News spread quickly through the village. People came to see him. Some looked ashamed for how they once treated him. But Chinedu greeted everyone kindly. He held no anger. Later that night, when they sat together, he asked his mother, "Mama, that voice I heard in America, how?" She smiled a tired but warm smile. The night before you came home, I went to pray under the mango tree. I begged God to bring you back to me. The wind was very strong that night. Maybe it carried my prayer to your ears. Chinedu wiped his eyes. Mama, the wind carried your love. In the weeks that followed, he used part of his wealth to rebuild the village school, fix the broken borehole, and help families who struggled. He created small jobs for boys who were mocked the same way he once was. Every evening, he sat with his mother under the mango tree. They talked, they laughed, they watched the sky turn purple as the sun went down. Sometimes the wind blew gently around them, and Chinedu would close his eyes. He no longer heard her calling him home because he was already there, and he never planned to leave again.